Got a pretty good start here. We've got 36,000 people so far, with a very healthy bank account of, we've got 5 million in our bank, and we're receiving about $25,000 dollars every week. So check this out. So just in case you missed yesterday, basically we built a city, this part of my city here, with absolutely zero road connection to the previous section of the city that I have built. And so the way I populated this portion of my city is through the use of cable cars. So if we examine this cable car here, it's servicing 626 people per week, at least as of last week. That's pretty crazy. Let's check out this other one here. This one is 470 as of the previous week. So if we compare that to, say, my bus routes, so I'm actually per week servicing about double on those two cable cars than I am with my extensive bus routes. Look at my bus routes. It's very extensive. So that's some new ideas for you guys. If you've never used cable cars before, it's an effective way as a mass transit. So here's another example. I built out this entire island here, and again, it has zero road connection. In fact, if you look at the road, it's pretty clear. I mean, there's gonna be some cars on the roads, service vehicles, rich people who figure out how to smuggle vehicles in an island where vehicles are, prohibited. Garbage trucks are gonna be on the road, but the only connection that island has to my mainland is, again, cable cars. So if we examine here, look, that's servicing 466 passenger as of last week. This one even higher, 518. So again, if you've never used cable cars before, and that comes with the mass transit download DLC, that alone is worth the upgrade. I mean, look at my traffic flow. My traffic flow is 92% with hardly any traffic. There's actually zero traffic here. Also zero traffic here because it's not connected to any road. The only traffic I have is where my freeway connection is. Obviously, you got to start the game with a freeway connection, and then of course that is used to build out your initial city. But that's pretty fantastic for a city of this size to have a traffic flow of over 90%. Anyway, in this video, what we're gonna do is build out our tourism. I'm gonna do it in a very untraditional way, because contrary to what you've read and have seen other YouTubers do, where they tell you need to have massive connection like air, land, roads to build out your tourism, I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you really don't need anything other than your cable cars, and I'll show you. Let's lay out some roads. So it's gonna be it takes me a little while to lay out the cable car. It's kind of finicky the way it works. So here, let's actually get the connection going between our floating island here and this other half of that floating island that's being separated by the freeway there. So the thing with a cable car is, do you see on the left and on the right side there's that arc? That's where the cable will connect. So you have to get just the right angle for it. We want the arch part to be pointing the other way so that we can connect the cable car. So hi, if you're just joining us, I'm about to build out my tourism, where I'm not going to have a road connection. I'm basically just going to use cable cars, much like I did yesterday. And if you missed yesterday, I basically built out this entire island with zero road connection, only using cable cars. Effectively, you can use cable cars as a mass transit, and it's a very, very highly effective means of getting people from point A to point B, actually. So it looks like we can build our cable car connection here. I wonder if that would be good enough. Oh, perfect. That might work out. Oh, perfect. End-to-end connection. That is perfect. So we're gonna build out our tourism using only that as the connection from this part of the island to our brand new tourism area. So let's see, I actually wish I had built that closer to the road. Here's why, because if I had built that closer to the road, it would have enough of a electrical radius. I wouldn't even need to run power lines across. So let's do this. I want to redo that actually. I know that's being silly. I could just run a power line across, but I'd rather not see a power line across the freeway. So if we look at our economy right now, we're generating 3,444 on our industry. My goal is to see if we can beat that using our tourism. Sorry, I'm recreating the cable car connection because I don't want to have to run power through. Oh, looks like I didn't really have to in the first one either. Let's examine the power situation first before we keep building. Yeah, let's demolish this one. So that's a little trick there, guys. So because I built these two cable car end stops so close to the highway, you notice their power radius kind of touches each other. So I don't even need to run power lines across the freeway. So that's a nice little freebie trick for you guys. So we'll go ahead and connect these two cable car stops, and that's perfect. So I'm laying out roads that have bike lanes on them. That's because we're gonna ban cars in our tourist district. And so yes, we're gonna expect our guests to basically just walk and use bicycles if possible. We're gonna build out two seaports, one being, let's actually build them out now before we lay out the roads, because that actually will have an impact. So we want to build a cargo hub, 90,000, a little pricey. I guess we can build it here. Perfect. I hope I can connect that road. Let's see. We may not be able to connect it, but we can at least just extend it. Let's build another. We're gonna build one that's dedicated for just tourism, which is the harbor. Let's build it right next to it. And since this is gonna be a tourist district, let's go ahead and build another harbor. I don't know if we really need both, but we can always demolish it later. It's a little bit harder to add it later because of the road situation, so I think that's all we're gonna need. That's actually probably more than what we need. Oh, I hope it will connect. Oh, I was afraid of that. It doesn't connect. So we'll have a bit of a problem here. We need to figure out a way to connect this road. Let's go ahead and demolish this first. Alright, let's see if we can rebuild the harbor there. We probably will not be able to. That's just the way it is sometimes with the game. Yep, looks like we cannot. Let me demolish this for a second. And build out the harbor. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I just can't. That's okay. You know what? We'll just use two port. One is dedicated for cargo, and then one is for tourism. I'm really thinking I want to build another harbor though. Can I? Let's see, maybe right there? Alright. Again, we're going to be building roads with bike lanes. Let's actually keep going. Now, contrary to what you might think, you don't actually need to build any monuments or any buildings or statue or landmarks to build out a tourist district. I know that's kind of been what everybody's been doing. You don't really need it. All you need is people. You need people to come to your tourist district. And your tourist district will develop with or without any landmarks, because landmarks are expensive. They cost like thousands every week to maintain. And quite honestly, the value they provide is questionable. Although I have to admit that I do like to have landmarks and things like that in my city, because it's pretty to look at. So let's lay down the roads that that our citizens are gonna use for biking. Perfect. Let's go ahead and zone our first high density zone here. Just gonna paint that over, and then we're gonna let that build out while we construct more roads. Again, I'm picking roads that have bike lanes on them because we want people to use their bikes. And again, this tourist area has no road connection to anything. It is going to be a self-sustaining area. We're going to drive our tourist population through those port ships, which I think I built one too many. We only need 2 ports, honestly. And through this cable car. This cable car is going to be our lifesaver, believe me. Right now, our cable car is only servicing 0 passengers, but give it a few weeks. So, our tourism area is starting to build out. Let's go ahead and provide temporary power so that our ports can start servicing people. Because we want people to come in and visit our tourist area. We do need to build some trash facility. Let's go ahead and build an incinerator. I wonder if I can build it at the edge here somewhere. Oh, perfect. That's actually what we want. Incinerator. We are gonna need a fire department. It's very important. Police, obviously. And a clinic as well, just to get our tourist area started. Perfect. What else did we forget? I think that's pretty good for right now. Alright, so I think we can safely demolish this wind turbine now. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we are building a tourist area without any road connection. The only thing that we have that's connecting us to the outside world, one is this cable car here, which is currently servicing 82 people. That's pretty good. And obviously the ports here. Now, I didn't construct my roads well enough, so the garbage collection is becoming an issue. Let's see if I can... the roads are too steep. Nope, still can't do it there. I wonder if I can do it here. Nope, still too steep. So what we'll do is create a road that goes across like this so that the garbage trucks can easily reach the cargo hub over there. Alright, so we're gonna designate this area as our tourist district. So we'll just paint over an area. We're gonna paint out this entire part of the island, and again, this entire part of the island is completely secluded. And for that matter, this entire island is completely secluded. It's not connected to a highway, believe it or not. I know there's a highway passing through it, but I'm not connected to it. And I can prove that when I show to you my traffic. My traffic flow for my city of nearly 40,000 is still 92%. If you look on my roads here, there's not a single red or orange. Everything is green. How is that possible? It's simple. I didn't connect this portion of my city to the highway. So you're wondering, then, how did I get this many population? Using cable cars. That's right, cable cars. You can use cable cars as mass transit. So if we examine this one cable car connection here, it's servicing 454 people. That's pretty insane. That's like That's insane. That's a lot of people for one connection. Alright, so let's watch our tourist area here develop. Let's go ahead and keep laying out some more roads. Oh, you know, I did forget something. We're gonna need parks. Parks are very important to the development of the land value of your city in general. So let's go ahead and kind of have to be strategic about where we put the park. I think right there. It's perfect. Let's go ahead and lay out some more roads. Again, we're building roads with bike lanes on them. It's very important because cars are not allowed in our tourist district. So if people want to come here, they have to walk and bring a bike. Can't seem to connect there. Let's see. Perfect. I don't know if it's ever occurred to you to be able to build sections of your city where vehicles are not allowed. So it's kind of funny. So you do see vehicles, obviously, because the cargo hub will bring in vehicles. But if we watch the flow of traffic, you're gonna see that the vehicles, they're not connected to the highway. They don't go anywhere. So basically the cargo hub or the boats will bring in vehicles from the outside world. They run around and circulate my little island here, and they just vanish. They don't go anywhere. So they just bring in business, and they don't add to traffic problems. Pretty amazing, right? That's my little hack for you. You can develop your tourism without increasing traffic in your city. And I've watched many videos of city skylines. I have never seen this strategy employed. I just kind of discovered it playing around in the last 2 weeks. So again, you're watching us develop a tourist district here. Well, let's see if we're even making any money right now. Not yet, not yet. Let's give it about 10 minutes. I'm very, you know, very optimistic that we're gonna make money here. Look at how fortunate we are. We're so close to the shipping lane. You know, eventually I want to purchase those islands above there and turn them into like a leisure district. That's something I've never really been able to figure out in the game, is how the leisure district works. Alright, so our city, our tourist district here is still developing. So it's not really a requirement to have a landmark or any special building. Look at the... That's funny how they're piling up. Come on, guys. We have two harbor there. Use both of them. Alright, see those high-rise building? Rise. Let's go build more park-related buildings. I like to build the botanical garden. I don't know why, but I just do. So let's build one more of that over there. What I'm trying to do, though, is increase the land value so that we can get some, you know, pretty good income from our tourist district. Let's go ahead and paint some more roads. Maybe I'll just leave it the way it is for right now. Now, for shits and giggles, I do want to put the Statue of Liberty on the on this little part of the island. Actually, not that it's needed, but it'll just be kind of cool to have it. So look at that, guys. Our tourist district is starting to develop a little bit. Very cool. I'm thinking we should add a second cable car connection, because I think we're not bringing in enough people to the tourist area here. Let's see. Well, I mean, that cable car stuff is servicing a lot of people. 442. That's a lot for one connection. So let's be patient and hope that this will develop. Hopefully, right? Oh wow, we have some high-rise building appearing there. Next to the solar power generator, which is kind of funny, because that's a very... that's high in pollution in terms of noise. Hear that bell sound? That's the building being upgraded. Oh, did we forget to build a crematory? We might have. Oopsie. We do need that. Okay, we'll build it right there at the center of the city, of the area here. Alright. Not yet bringing any income just yet, so let's be patient. And I am very eager to add Lady Liberty, like, I don't know, maybe somewhere here, close to the dock. Make it seem like very New York-ish. Have her be overlooking the water. That would be kind of cool. Maybe place her right next to the docks. Thinking about it. We'll see, we'll see. It's not a requirement. Look at that, it's starting to develop. We're starting to get some high-rise buildings. Mid-rise buildings right now. Oh, I've noticed there's some comments. Sorry, let me check my phone here. I haven't been paying attention to my phone. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, so we're building our tourist district with really no road connection. Hey guys, somebody's like, your microphone is on and it's creating like a loop feedback. Can you mute your microphone? Give me 1 second. It's just my broadcast settings here, so we're not getting someone else's microphone. Okay, that's much better. Alright, so again, we're back broadcasting. Just had to fix some microphone issues. So we're basically building out this entire island with no connection to the highway. I know it seems like I have a connection to the highway because our highway is passing through it, but I really don't. And I can assure you of that. The only connection we have is actually cable cars. We're using cable cars as a mass transit system. And if you examine my roads closely, they don't connect to that freeway that's just passing through this island. And that's how I can maintain a 92% traffic flow with a population of 40,000. That's actually really, really good. I'm tempted to build a tiny bit of residential in this tourist area because we need more people. So let's do that. Let's build an area that will designate as residential. Maybe away from the docks. Tiny bit maybe. Or let's see if we can get away with not doing that. Let's see how our economy is doing. We're not yet making any income from tourism just yet. Oh, we did. I think we might have forgotten to designate these as a tourist area, did we? Oh, we did. Silly me. Alright. So we created a district. After you create a district, you gotta designate it as a tourist area. Okay, that's why. So the buildings will... They might get reconstructed. I'm not sure. There we go. They're gonna turn into high-rise buildings. So the way specialization works in City Skylines is if you designate a district to be a certain specialization, the buildings will basically turn into high-rises. So you can see they're getting rebuilt to become high-rise buildings, which is what we want. Let's double check our district, make sure that it's painted correctly. Yep. And then I'm gonna rename this so that we can clearly see that it's our tourist district. I'm gonna rename that as tourist. Sorry, switching to my wireless keyboard here. Tourist district. Perfect. So basically it's gonna rebuild everything back up. Sorry, I forgot to mark it as a tourist district when I started building this. So we're building a tourist district with no road connection. The only connection we have to the outside world are two connections. One is you see the seaports. Obviously we're gonna need customers to our tourist area. And the second one is this lone cable car connection, which you can see is servicing 454 people. Again, that's very massive. I mean, compare that to my bus routes. So if you look at how big my city is now and how elaborate my bus routes are servicing 738 people per week. My cable car, that one cable car connection, is servicing 450 something people per week. So to put that in relative terms, that this one cable car connection can move people at an incredible capacity, volume. So there's our tourist district starting to get redeveloped. You can see high-rise buildings will rise once you mark districts as a specialization. That's not really something you have to work so hard towards. It just happens. High-rise buildings will just rise. Look at all the ships. Watch them dock. I've become a very, very busy island. You know what this island reminds me of? Singapore, where vehicles are banned, and it's very heavy in shipping ports, shipping lanes. Alright, you know, I'm very tempted to pull the trigger now and put the Statue of Liberty on this island, just because it would make it so, you know, New York looking, well, I don't know, island, I don't know, let's see. Now, when you're building a tourist district, you don't actually need a tourist attraction. I know that's kind of an oxymoron. And well, what are the people going to visit? I don't know. They visit buildings. Because, look at it now. I haven't even put a single building, a single landmark, and I'm already making 2,000 per week. Look at my industry. I'm making 3,300. My tourism, 2,000. And I've just barely started building my tourism. There's not even a single landmark on here. So again, as a recap, you don't need train lines, you don't need airports, you don't even need a car or freeway connection to build your tourist district. But you will need some type of connection. In my case, I'm using seaports and a cable car connection right there to populate my tourist district with people. So basically this area is a pretty enclosed area. No traffic are going in and out of this, only tourists are going in and out of this. So if we look at my road connection, my traffic flow, examine the road of my tourist district, it doesn't connect to anything. It is a self-contained tourist destination, relying mostly on ships and cable cars to sustain itself. Let's see, should we build Lady Liberty? I'm actually hoping that this would develop more, so let's give it some more time. You can see more development is starting to happen as more tourists comes in. I could build a second cable car connection to help this tourist area have more tourists, but the reason I don't do that is maybe I'm just being anal. So the cable car connection produces a lot of noise pollution, and if you look at my city, these three areas here are actually monorails, which I might demolish in future episodes because I don't like how, for what little service they provide, yeah, they're servicing 51 people, 29, 66. I mean, that's very little compared to, say, one cable car connection. Look at this. This is servicing 372. That's just one connection, and it's just going across the freeway. So that's bridging the gap between this part of the island and onto this tourist district here. So again, if you've never used cable cars before, now is a good time. Cable cars are a super uber highly effective means to transfer people from one point to another. Hey, I've got this entire section of my city here where cars are also banned, and I'm only using cable cars. And look at how well it's developed. Look at the number of high-rise buildings I have. And remember, my population is only 40,000, so it's pretty incredible. Ah, look at my tourist district there. Look at that. Look at that. We got high-rise buildings. So they are developing. Let's see how we can, nice. Nice. Very nice. I haven't paid attention to my education in a little while. Ooh, we're gonna need to build some elementary and high school, it seems like. Okay, let's see, where should we build it? I think we should build some here, I'm thinking. Okay, want to make sure that our citizens are fairly educated. I'm not going to say highly educated, I'm saying fairly educated. I think we might need to build more here as well. Alright, let's go back to our tourist district. Look at that. Again, without any road connection, without any train connection, without any subway connection, we're developing our tourist district. All that we're relying on is a single cable car connection right there. And some seaports. This is our harbor. Look at the harbor is only servicing 14 passengers, 4 passengers. I might have built one too many. And we're relying on the docks as well. So when you build a tourist district, obviously you need to zone a commercial district. I mean, this entire island is going to be strictly commercial district, if we were going to try anyway. So being that it's a commercial district, you're going to need some goods and services to come in to these high-rise buildings, malls, whatever they are. And so that's where the cargo harbor comes into play. It brings in goods and services into our tourist district. And then we have, oh, the harbor. Okay, it's starting to service some people. I just saw 98 last week. And then we're gonna use these harbor to bring in tourists from outside of our city. But to bring customers from within our city, I'm using this cable car. And if we examine the cable car, it's impressive. It's servicing 400 people per week. That's what's actually causing these buildings to rise. Not so much the ships. The ships are actually pretty low volume. Look at that, 13. It serviced 13 people last week. 7. It's almost laughable. So my tourist district is developing quite nicely. Thanks exclusively to the cable car connection that we have, actually. If I wanted to develop it faster, I could have created a second cable car connection, but I'm trying not to do that in order to minimize our noise pollution. Cable cars do generate noise pollution. The stops do, not the cable itself, obviously. And I mean, it can be mitigated if you build office zones around it, but in our case, we're trying to exclusively just keep this area as a commercial zone, a high density commercial zone. So let's see how much money, if any, we're making in our tourism. So look at that, guys. In a matter of just 15 minutes, we're making more money in our tourism. If you look under the specialization there with the happy mask thingy, there's tourism, 4,400 a week, versus my entire industrial zone that's only making 3,300 a week. And we're only halfway through this. Look at that. Part of the island still empty. So there you go, guys. That's how you can build a highly, highly profitable tourist district without even building a single monument or building or landmarks or anything for that matter. The only thing I built are 3 shipping ports, 1 cargo hub, 2 harbor ports, and cable car. I know I keep stressing cable car because most people just never use cable cars. They think it's only for you know, for carrying a low number of tourists from point A to point B. Whereas it can be used as a mass transit. It's carrying 446 passengers every week. And when you compare that to my harbor, it's laughable. This harbor carried 6 passengers last week. 38 last week. It's a joke. I mean, I probably didn't need to build this many harbor. I'll probably just need one, actually. But look at that, without any road connection, our tourist district is thriving. It's more than thriving. It's doing great, actually. Let's make sure our garbage is good. Make sure our healthcare is good. That's our crematory. Healthcare, okay, we are good. Let's look at our fire department. Okay, perfect. We might need to double up on these services and build more of them as we approach this other part of the city. So we're doing really good money-wise. Check out our income. It's 23,000 every week with 6 million in the bank, and we only have 41,000 population. That's pretty good. Looking at our population growth, it's pretty low right now. We haven't been building any residential, which is actually not good, because we do need with city skylines, you do need to keep expanding your city or your population will stagnate. And then when you hit the death wave, which it will arrive, your population will decline. Alright, I'm trying to figure out where's a good spot to put Lady Liberty. Again, let's look at our income and our tourism. We're making 4,400 a week without a single monument, building, or statue erected in our tourist district. It's all just commercial zones at this point. And it's already very, very profitable. To be honest with you, adding a landmark or statue or building doesn't make your tourist district any more profitable. It almost adds zero value, honestly. But I think I might do it just for the fun factor. I'm thinking I might do it right next to the harbor. I don't want to demolish too many buildings just because of Lady Liberty, which is not even going to bring in that much income, honestly. So we'll demolish this one building. It seems like I have to do that. I'm trying to demolish as little building as possible. Oh, I hope I don't demolish those high-rise buildings. And I think that's a perfect spot for it. So let's do that. Again, I'm gonna make a point that is gonna hardly make any difference at all. So we just plop Lady Liberty there. We've got a tourism income of 4,500. If you look at the little happy face icon, you see tourism. It says 4,500, and that's per week. So let's see if Lady Liberty can. It's going to be hard to tell if she makes any difference or not at this point, because our tourist district is still being built. So we've got more buildings that's going to be erected right here. Just looking at my comments. Look at that, our tourist district is really developing. Lady Liberty is being dwarfed by the size of and the number of high-rise buildings we have. Hey Dark Knight, I see your comment. Let me type up a response. I wonder if we should build another cargo harbor, because we're getting some flashing icons here. Not enough goods to sell. Okay, so let's build another cargo harbor. If we can. I don't know if we can, actually. I wonder if I can just demolish one of these harbor, because they're not really making much of a difference. Actually, can't build any more cargo harbor. So we're gonna do because these boats, these harbors are not really bringing in that many people to my tourist district. I guess it is 132. That's pretty good. Versus 2 on the other one. Again, that's laughable compared to the cable car where it's bringing in 480 people to my tourist district. But we're not getting enough goods in our tourist district, so I'm hoping that we can build another cargo harbor. I don't know where we can put it though. Space already occupied, so can I just demolish? Space already occupied. So we're gonna do something crazy. Let's go ahead and demolish one of these harbor. I think for a tourist district of this size, we might only need one harbor. Yeah, that second harbor is almost not used. That's kind of a waste of a space. Let's go ahead and create a second cargo harbor. We might have to temporarily... Let's pause the game and temporarily demolish the roads. Can I build... Oh, yes, I can. Perfect. So that's one of those things you have to do sometimes if you're trying to align things to the edge of your map. You might have to demolish the roads temporarily. I hope I can connect this like this. Oh, perfect. That's what I was hoping for. Alright, let's see if creating another cargo port will alleviate some of the problems that we're starting to see, in that there aren't enough goods to sell. And the reason that's happening is because our tourist district is not connected to the highway. We're doing that on purpose for right now, but maybe ultimately we might have to connect it to the highway. But let's give it a few minutes and see if that second cargo ship makes a difference. So let's see how our income from our tourist district. It's pretty flat at 4,400. I wonder if we've hit a plateau. Like I said, Lady Liberty is not going to make any difference to our income, so I placed her there, and if you notice, our income didn't really move. It remained the same. Oh no, there's a fire in this part of my island. What's our fire department situation there? Not very good. I should have built more fire department. There we go. I'm tempted to perhaps temporarily put a highway connection. Thinking about it. Let's see. Let's wait though. Uh-oh, yeah, looks like we're gonna run into a problem without a road. Let's go ahead and connect a road to our tourist district. Let's do it... Where's a good place, you think? Let's do it close to the Statue of Liberty. That's gonna create massive traffic. So let's look at our traffic flow right now. Our traffic flow is 92, and that one highway connection I'm going to predict is gonna create massive traffic. It's gonna take some time to build up. But hey, look at that. Our income from our tourism is actually higher than my industrial zone. And we just built this tourist area not too long ago. We do need to fix this problem of not getting enough goods. I was hoping that the cargo hub there would bring enough goods to supply our tourist district, but perhaps not. I always find it fun to watch these ships dock. They're kind of cool. You know what also we can build while we're here is like a marina or a pier. A fishing pier. Where can we build it? Perfect, right there. How about a restaurant pier? Perfect, right there. How about a marina? Fishing tour. Where's a marina? Jet ski rental. Marina. There we go. Perfect. You know, I should have built them Silly me. I should have built them right next to the Oh, he needs a road. Never mind. We'll keep it here. What else do we have? Jet ski rental? Sure, let's go for that. Oh, it's too steep now. Can't get access to the road. How about if we build it right there? Nice. What other stuff can we build? I think that's it for now. Let's make sure that's a part of our district. Or our tour district. Yep, it is. Very nice. Let's see our traffic flow now. 89, but you can see now we're starting to get into some traffic problem because we opened a connection to the freeway there. Did that make any difference to our income? Yes. So we're making 5,500 every week now in our tourism versus only 3,300 from our industrial zone. I make more money now in tourism than I do in my forestry or in my industry. And you know, it's not without its problems, but at least it's generating pretty good money for the city. So, okay, so it looks like if we look at the city across the board, the lack of goods problem is not just because of our lack of connection to a highway, because my main city here has connection to a highway and it also has a similar problem. Maybe it's just the growing pains of becoming a larger city, of reaching 40,000. So while our tourist district develop, I'm trying to see where we could build more residential zones, because we do need to grow a little bit. Should I purchase another piece of land or start developing this area here? It's a pretty small area. Probably could, actually. Maybe we expanded our tourist district a little too fast. It's doing pretty good though. Look at all the high-rise buildings that we got now. And we're making pretty good money, 5,400 a week. Let's go ahead and demolish these abandoned buildings. Let's see what the computer will build in its place. So Lady Liberty is costing me 3,200 every week, and you can see there's really not that many people visiting her. Let's look at our park. Not very much either, or our botanical garden, not so much either. I'd like to think that opening up our tourist district to the highway is what fixed the problem of not enough goods to sell, because it looks like it's doing pretty good right now. But I'm not too happy about the traffic part. Hey, look, it brought down my traffic flow from 90-something% to 85%, and you can clearly see there are traffic. So as an experiment, let's go ahead and demolish our connection to the highway there. So now this is going to be kind of funny, right? Because my tourist district is going to be self-contained once again. It will have no outside connection other than that cable car and the harbor. You know what's going to happen to those cars eventually? They'll just magically disappear, and traffic flow will increase. Look at it, it's already increased to 87% if you look at the graph there on the upper left corner. So there, without any connection to the outside world, the tourist district is still thriving. So basically, as of the moment, I'm making money on this tourist district, 4,500 a week. and contributing 0 to traffic. And if we look at traffic, it's back at 87%, so that's good. Now, whenever a cargo ship docks, it brings with it a lot of trucks, so you can see that right there. So traffic, yeah, that's a temporary thing. It's not permanent. Well, temporary in that there's a finite number of ships that, or trucks that the ship carries, and then the traffic goes away. So we have 89% traffic flow, 88. That's pretty good for a city of our size. So look at our population. It's declining a little bit, and that's what I'm saying, that in this game you actually need to keep building residential zones, or your population will start to decline. So let's go ahead and see if we can extend this road all the way. Oh, we can. Oh, that is just perfect. We need to build more residential zones. Like in this game, it's not enough to just sit in your laurel. You really need to build out your residential zones, like non-stop almost. I don't know what's the best way to do as far as laying out the roads here. Let's go put down some pipes. Can't even tell where the pipe begins and ends. Oh, it's right there. I'm just gonna paint that over as residential until so we can lay out more roads in the meantime. Again, I'm laying out roads with bicycle lanes. That's what we want. And we're not going to connect this to the highway, but we are going to build it pretty close. I sure don't want to build it too close, because residential people tend to complain about noise if you build them too close to the highway. Alright, let's lay out more roads. King Leek, you said you can't wait till the 31st. What's on the 31st? Kingdom Hearts? I'm actually thinking of buying Kingdom Hearts, so I can start playing it and live streaming it as well. Oh, there's a new DLC on the 31st. What is it? Sorry, I haven't been keeping up with the list of DLCs. I actually just recently got Mass Transit about 2 weeks ago. So they've announced a new DLC, but they just haven't told us yet? Ah, I see. Sorry, I'm not able to like type and play at the same time because I'm on the PS4 and got a control pad on my hand here. Let's see if this will develop over time. Oh, look at that. That's like the tiniest high density residential building I've ever seen. Ooh, we're gonna need more people, it says. I'm thinking of creating a second cable car connection to this tourist district. Either that or just zone some commercial, in, what do you call that? Residential zones here. So guys, what do you think of my crazy idea of building a city where vehicles are banned? Look at that. It's like It's thriving. This entire area of my city here, there's no freeway connection, there's no highway connection. Everything is just through the cable car. That's why traffic is so light. Look at that, there's no red, nothing. Or not really, like, there's hardly any. Same thing for this portion of the city. No traffic problem, because everyone is biking or walking. See? People are just walking. There's hardly any cars on the street. Oh, the garbage trucks still have to pass by. Look, they're using that cable car like crazy. 468 people are using that cable car connection every week. I think we're gonna need to open up and build another cable car connection. I'm just thinking, where should we build it? Maybe here? Building cable cars is so finicky because they have to be oriented in just the right way or they don't connect properly. Oh no, that's what I mean. Oh, I could have just moved that instead of demolishing it. Silly me. I wonder if I could just... I wonder if I could have just built that straight. Perfect, that's better. So hey guys, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm trying to get more subscribers to my channel here so I can do this more frequently. It gets me motivated when people subscribe. So as fun as it is to play a game and have it be live broadcasted, you know, it does take some time, effort, and energy to do all of this. So I would appreciate if you could subscribe or at least like the broadcast. So let's see, look at that, we're slowly developing into this new area that we zoned. We are gonna need a clinic, a fire department, and a police station. It's okay, they're not gonna have any power for right now, or water. Oops, that's not good, we need water. Oh, there's a gap in our pipes here, let's fix that. Nice. Maybe we'll put a windmill for right now. Wind turbine temporarily. Yep, looks like we should. Perfect. Perfecto. So we haven't really quite solved our problem here of... what is it? What's it complaining about? Not enough customers, so we're not bringing in enough people. I guess we will need that freeway connection back, that highway connection back. Where is a good place to put it? Close to Lady Liberty. So I guess we'll just permanently, well, I'd hate to say permanently for now. What we might do later on is build a metro or a subway system to connect this island to the rest of the city here, so we can bring in more people to our tourist district. What probably happened is I built too big of a tourist district for the number of population that I have. I only have 40,000 people, so maybe I could have built only half of this. I'm thinking about dezoning it, although there's a, if you look at the RCI graph, there's a high demand for commercial zones. But that could just mean the normal commercial zone and not a tourist district, not a tourist zone. So anyway, I'm really surprised we're getting these really cool high-rise building right next to the solar power plant. What are these things? Oh, these are office buildings. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so I think what I'm thinking of doing is just as a re-strategizing, I'm thinking I might de-zone half of this, which I just did, and turn the other half into office buildings instead. Let's go ahead and build more roads to maximize the space. I know it makes it a very grid-like island, but alright, so I'm thinking more office space. Hey Ben, yeah, I actually wiped out those buildings on purpose. Trying to repurpose things, building offices instead of just commercial zones. Because I think I built way too many commercial zones for the number of population that I have. So I'm gonna bulldoze this road again because I want this area to be self-contained and not be connected to any road, which I know is a crazy way to build a tourist district. So there we go. So sometimes the solution to the problem is to shrink things temporarily. We're still making money in our tourist district. 2,400. I mean, what I could do is actually zone residential within this area, so that would actually solve the not enough people problem. That might have been the better approach, actually. Hey Ben, I just saw your comment, angry god. That's the power of a mayor in this city. We can just demolish buildings. So let's see here. Yes, the water physics in this game is really good. Check this out. I should save the game and throw in some natural disasters so you can see what the water does when you throw in a meteorite into it. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so it looks like our tourist district has stabilized. It's not complaining about anything right now, even though it still has no road connection. Our traffic flow has improved back to 93%, which again I think that's really good compared since we have 41,000 people in our city now. And let's see what problems are we having here. We have enough power, it's just not reaching there at the moment. There we go. So I think we can safely, I wonder if we can demolish this wind turbine right now. Probably not yet. So again, with this game, you have to continuously expand, keep building residential zones, or your city will not grow. I guess that only makes perfect sense, right? We're gonna need a crematory. For some reason in this city, in this game, people like living close to the police station, fire station, and cemetery and crematory. I don't think that's really true in real life, though. I hope with the roads being mostly clear... Oopsie. What did I just press there? So I hope with the roads being mostly clear that garbage shouldn't be a problem in this new part of our city. Looks like our tourist district is doing pretty good. So the only way to increase the money you make from tourism is really to create more commercial zones. So I might slowly increase the number of commercial zone buildings we have here so we can generate at least 3,000 per week in tourism. But for right now, let's just leave it the way it is. It looks like it's pretty stable. When I say stable, as in there's no blinking bad icon on this part of the city. Look at Lady Liberty. She seems so small relative to the high-rise buildings that surround her. Here's our new residential district, still developing. I think I might be able to destroy that wind turbine now. Yeah, I think so. Because wind turbines generate a lot of noise pollution, and citizens don't like that. Let's see what our next milestone is. It's 55,000 people. Wow, we've got a long way to go. We're not going to be able to achieve that with the amount of what little land we have left. I might have to buy another land. So if we strictly just want to grow our population, buying this land down here would be a more logical choice. Or here. Or there. I could just buy that. That's a thought. So we just need 55,000. I'm trying to see in my mind how much piece of land we need to build on in order to increase our population by 13,000. I think let's go with this. That way we own this island in its entirety. I should move the water treatment facilities maybe towards that way, so we don't see the pollution as much. Alright, so we purchased that new land there, so we can actually expand now. That is actually good news. So I can actually start building residential areas here. Perfect. I just saw your comment, Ben. Funny. I should just buy that game actually and play it and just stream it. I wonder if we even needed to buy a new piece of land. I wonder if this little area here will be enough to take us to 55,000. Probably not, huh? I just might buy Kingdom Hearts, Ben. I actually have never really played that game, and I've always wanted to. And I still actually don't really know the complex history surrounding that game, so I might watch a few YouTube videos and catch myself up before I buy the game. Wow, look at that. Our tourist district is still doing really well, even though it's got no road connection. It's like we're building the impossible here. I'm thinking of demolishing these things, maybe. Actually, no, it's getting quite a bit of visitors. Huh, surprised. Wow, I can't even target that. Yeah, it is getting a lot of visitors. That's interesting. Yeah, I had a coworker who was really into Kingdom Hearts, and he told me it has a very complex story. So, it's not a type of game that you can just jump into and understand things. Although I've heard that Kingdom Hearts 3 is one of those games where you can just pick it up and just start playing. But it's going to be a pretty significant investment of money. It's not cheap. $60 the cheapest. Or if you buy the deluxe version, it's like $90. It's like, wow. The deluxe version is probably what I'm going to end up buying, because it gives you access to not just the newest game, but also the previous 2 games, I believe. Alright, what do we need? It says we need more commercial zones. I'm hoping the computer means offices. Okay, let's go ahead and build more. Let's see if we can build more commercial zones. So we'll try this again. We'll build more commercial zones, but this time, hang on for 1 second. Let's go ahead and fix our district and expand it. Marking this as a tourist district. Oop, didn't mean to make a big hole there. No, 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 no. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's build more commercial zones. Let's see if that will have problems. Look at the number of ships trying to dock. That's pretty crazy. Maybe I should have built another harbor. How many people is this servicing? 106. 402. Whoa. Alright, well maybe I should have built another harbor. I didn't know it was going to be servicing that many people later on. Let's demolish this and that and build another harbor. Can we? I don't know if we can. There may not be not enough room. Yeah, oh, yes we can. There we go. Oh no, Lady Liberty, you got in the way. I have to like move you or demolish you for the moment, Lady Liberty. Looks I can move you for right now. Let's move you right there. Oh, I forgot to put some water in that new part of the city. Let's go ahead and fix our road here. Perfect. I wonder if I can put back Lady Liberty and just demolish some of the buildings behind her. Can I put her there? Oh, perfect. That'll work. There we go. Oh, she's facing the wrong way. That's funny. That's okay. Let's see, what else can we build here? Looks like our tourism area is doing pretty good so far. I might rezone these as commercial districts. I should have zoned these as offices and built some residentials back here. Didn't think about that. So let's go ahead and dezone the offices. Or should I? Maybe I should just leave them the way they are for right now. Oh, the land are too small to build on. There's nothing else that we can build. Cool, well that experiment worked, because now we have a tourist district with no road connection and it's doing pretty good. How much money are we making now? 4,800. Hey, that's more money than my investment. So if you just joined us, we're building Essentially, we built a tourist district with no road connection, using strictly harbors and cable cars to make the district thrive, which is pretty crazy. So we have a population of 44,000, and our traffic flow is 93%, which is extremely good for a city of this size. And so we built this part of the city with no road connection as well, simply relying on cable car connection right there, and right there, and another right there. So we're basically using cable cars as a means of mass transit, and they work quite well. Look, that one cable car stop is moving 522 people. That's pretty impressive. In fact, if you look at my mass transit, if you look at it, I have a very extensive bus route. Very extensive, as you can see. And it's moving 637 people per week. But if you look at the very bottom of that list, the cable cars, it's moving 1,655 per week. Cable cars, and I have far fewer of those things. My monorail is pretty sad. I've got 3 stations right there. It's only moving 177 people. I'm actually thinking about just demolishing that. I'm not really using it to its fullest potential. That's a thought. I probably should demolish that now. But let's not worry about that now. The computer wants me to build more industrial zone. So if we look at my city as a whole and how it's zoned, I have an industrial zone here, an industrial zone here. Ultimately, I want to convert this entire part of my city to be nothing but industrial and commercial zones, actually. Industrial, preferably. So what we're going to do is going to de-zone some of these. We're going to begin the mass conversion, I guess. We're going to turn everything here, or not everything. We're going to slowly turn this part of the map into strictly a industrial zone, if we can. That's because industrial zones and commercial zones do need, to work effectively, do need access to a highway. So this is really the perfect spot in my map to develop my industry, my industrial zone, and my commercial zone. Alright, so let's build some, before we plop down some industrial zone, let's go ahead and extend our district. So right now we have a forestry district. I'm actually just going to extend that to cover this entire area, because ultimately we're going to convert all of this into forestry district. So in case you didn't know, a forestry district and a farm district generates far less pollution than a normal industrial district. So if possible, you really should build first a farm district, because that generates the least amount of pollution, and then secondly a forestry district. The forestry district is kind of an interesting one. The farm district requires the land to already be rich with farming minerals, I guess. I don't know. You can see that through this map. So when you see an orange area like this, this is highly suitable for farming, whereas where you see a lot of trees, that's highly suitable for forestry. And actually, you can build forestry anywhere on your map. You can plant trees yourself manually. If you go here to the landscaping area and go to the trees area, you can just plant your own trees on the map and turn any land suitable for forestry. Or you can be lazy like me and just don't do anything, because when you designate a district as forestry, you can see they plant their own trees. So that's what I like about the forestry district, is you can place it anywhere and it works. So creating this new area of forestry more than overly satisfied the demand for industries. You can see the RCI graph, the demand for industry is completely gone. Not something I wanted to do on purpose, but that's what happened. So we've got 44,800 people, so it looks like we might hit 45,000 pretty soon. Let's see. Oh, we're starting to get that problem of not enough goods. Again, we probably extended our commercial zone tourist district a little too much. Maybe we should de-zone that, actually. Sometimes it's good to de-zone things in the game. It creates demand. You know, don't feel like you have to keep everything you built. That's not how this game works. So we're just gonna de-zone these for right now. We don't really need the extra commercial district right now. There's not even a demand for it. Well, look at that. Well, look at that. The newest addition to our city. It's developing quite nicely. Nice. So you got a portion of the city here where cars are effectively banned. So you can see a lot of people just walking and biking. So if you build roads where people can walk and bike, people will use them. I wonder why people are getting sick here. It could be the noise pollution from the cable car. Should probably build a clinic near there. Oh, I do have one. It's right there. Huh. We don't want our people to get sick. You know what we'll do? Let's see. What is that zoned as? Oh, it's zoned as... That's my fault. It was zoned as residential. That should be zoned for office instead of that. Oopsie. Alright, so if you've just joined us, essentially we're building our city, a large chunk of it, using cable cars as our mode of mass transit. See, if you're looking here, this cable car is servicing 586 people per week, and that one connection basically allowed this part of my city to thrive. It's a pretty interesting experiment that we started yesterday. And so basically I have a city, a portion of my city, where vehicles are not allowed, and you just see people basically walking and biking. Service vehicles like police, fire departments, and the garbage trucks still need to use the road, but by and large, and a few rich people who have smuggled cars in my island here. I don't know how they've done that, since there never was a road connection to this island. It's actually not an island, it's a part of a bigger land, but from my point of view it's an island because you have to cross the water to get there. So the problem we want to tackle here is this. The cable car is a noise polluting structure, and so if you build residentials like I did here unwisely enough, it will cause them to get sick. So what we want to do is rezone this to be office spaces instead. Let's see here. We're going to turn these into office spaces, and we don't want to do it too fast, too soon, because I don't want to cut out my power supply to the right side of the island, because I didn't run any power cables. I'm relying on these buildings to just transmit power. Okay, so that's building. So we want to de-zone this area as well. So this sometimes happens in your city as you expand too fast. You're not thinking about noise pollution. Noise pollution can make your citizens sick. And we don't want people to get sick, because if they get sick, then you tax the medical system of the city, and then you fill up the cemetery or your crematory faster. We don't really want that. And in general, we don't want people getting sick. So where you have, if you have areas where you have noise pollution or just pollution in general, just build office spaces or build commercial districts or commercial zones. I like to build commercial office spaces if possible. And the reason for that is as your city develops and mature, you have more older people in your city, and older people want to work in office zones or office spaces, not so much in commercial districts or commercial spaces, because not everyone wants to work in the mall when they're 40 years old, right? So they want higher paying jobs, and you only get that when you zone for offices. Well, there you go. So that fixed that problem. We don't see any more citizens who are getting sick and unhappy. That's good. And that's what we want to be. A mayor that makes people happy. I hate seeing flashing icons like that one over there. Not enough people. So that means what? There's not enough people who wants to work in a forestry industry. That could be two reasons. One is people are just not getting in their workplace fast enough. Or two, I've noticed sometimes when your population is highly educated, which is not the case in my case, sometimes they just don't want to work the lower paying jobs, which I guess that kind of mirrors real life, right? If you're highly educated and you have a master's degree, why would you want to work in a forestry industry, right? Very nice. This thing's still developing. We have some minor problems, but that's minor. Very nice that we built this area without having a road connection. Look at the ships pile up. Come on, computer. There's like 2 harbor. Use both of them. That's right. Just ram the ship. Bam. That's right. They're so eager to get to my city. They're just like ramming ships to dock. Look at those people walk. Look at that. In an absence of cars and vehicles, people in your city will walk, believe it or not. That's funny. They're walking, getting on the cable car, and going into the other part of my city. Huh. Alright, let's see what else can we develop. There's still a high demand for industry. Oh, looks like people are finally getting to work. That's good. So what we'll do is we'll de-zone more of this area here. Again, the goal is to ultimately turn all of this into my industrial zone. Alright, let's see. Let's begin de-zoning. Oops, I did not mean to de-zone that. But since we already did, let's keep going, I guess. Huh, look at that, we still have our school. Let's see what buildings are these. That's our high school and elementary. We're gonna have to move these now. Let's move it over here, I guess. So this is one of those things you just have to do sometimes in the game, is de-zone things and rebuild things. Just to optimize your space. So we're gonna zone this for farming, forestry rather. So when the computer demands that you build more industry and more commercial zones, you do kind of have to pay attention to that, because if you don't, you're gonna run into high unemployment. So my unemployment's at 10%. It's not great, it's not good, but it's not bad either. That just means people need more work. So by creating more industries and creating more commercial zones or office zones, that's how you provide employment for your population. So ordinarily I would destroy some of these roads, too many intersections, but if I do that, I've already got some bus routes set up. If I do that, it's gonna mess up the bus routes. So it took me like 20 minutes to lay out these bus routes, and I don't want to mess up my roads right now. So if you notice, my bus routes, they don't cross the left and the right side, and there's a reason for that. The reason being, I don't want to add traffic to this middle highway here, and so I just made my bus route zigzag the left portion of my original map, starting map, and then I made a second bus route that zigzags the right portion. So I think I only have like 2 bus routes, if I remember correctly. Let's find out. Yep, I only have 2 bus routes. So one of them on the right side is servicing 402 passengers. Look at how big that area is. It's only servicing 402 passengers. Again, let's make that comparison, and let's compare that to the cable car. This one cable car here is servicing more than that bus route. That's pretty crazy. That cable car was servicing 542 people. And that bus route has like 58 stops. So can you imagine me laying out 58 stops? That literally took, like, these 2 bus routes took like 20 minutes to lay out. And I did that offline, of course. I didn't do that in a live broadcast. That would just be insane to watch somebody lay out that many bus stops in a live broadcast. Alright, so looks like the demand for industry has tapered off, but the demand for commercial zone has not. So I wonder if I can cheat a little bit and construct more commercial zones here. Even though really this is for my tourists. No, I shouldn't, because you can see there's already some problem areas here. We could start converting some of these commercial zones into high density commercial zones. I suppose we can do that. That's an experiment. I guess we should try. So let's go ahead and D-zone this and D-zone that. And that. And that. Let's go ahead and convert them to just the traditional high-density commercial. Maybe that's what the computer really wants me to build. So I have a cemetery here that looks like it's filled up. Let's see if we have some crematorium here. We do. So in the later parts of the game, like where we are now, we don't actually need cemeteries anymore. We can just empty this, click on that box icon. It's gonna take probably 10-15 minutes to empty the cemetery. It's gonna basically take all the dead bodies into the crematorium and, well, incinerate them. Cremate them, sorry. Wrong choice of word there. And then after that we can demolish the cemetery. And the reason I tend to demolish cemeteries later on is because I don't like seeing the flashing icon that indicates it's full, it's full. It's I don't know, I hate looking at it. Look at that thriving city over there. That's really cool. Look at this part of the city. There's like no complaints almost, except for that one. There's our residential zone here. Look, it's looking good. Did I even build a park there? Probably didn't. Let's build a park or something. Oh, I really didn't. That's bad. Here, we'll build one right there. Gotta make our citizens happy. So you have to build parks all around your city to increase the land value, because if you don't, then your buildings won't reach their maximum potential. And you want the buildings to reach their maximum potential because you make more money that way. Hear that sound? This bell sound? Those are the buildings getting upgraded. Look at that, you can see them. By just me building a park, you can see it started an upgrade process. It's a beautiful sound. Whoa, look at my harbor there. Lots of ships trying to get into my tourist area. Are we actually making money in our tourist area? Not so much. 2.7, that's not too bad. I started expanding my forestry, so now my industry is making more money. 4.6k per week. But this was just an experiment anyway, to see if we can build a tourist district without a road connection, and looks like the answer to that question is yes. As long as you provide a harbor, so you can connect people to from the outside world into your city, as well as cable cars to function as mass transit to feed your tourist district with people. Look at how effective cable cars are. Just that one cable car stop is servicing 400 people, almost 500. That's crazy. Alright, so what do we have here? People. We need more people. I wonder if, as an experiment, we extend our monorail, if that will make any difference at all. Let's see if we extend it over here. I hate building monorails because they produce so much noise pollution. So now let's go fix the monorail line. Monorail, monorail. We're gonna redo this line. Delete it. And then redo it. Oh, I know that made everyone very unhappy. Alright, so we're gonna start the line here. and then here, and then here, and then here, and then back again, because we gotta create a loop. There you go. I don't know if that will make any difference as far as helping to populate the industrial zone here, but we'll see. We'll monitor things. Let's see how monorail work. Does that really bring people in? Not yet. The problem is they would have to cross this 4-lane highway just to go to their workplace. Not a very good thing. There you go. Could create I guess we can create a cable car connection. That's one way we can fix the problem. Yeah, I don't think that really helped at all. I'm almost very tempted to just demolish this monorail system because I'm not getting much out of it. Nope, so we have another cemetery here that's also very full. So we should begin emptying the cemetery as well, so we can demolish that. Okay, we're gonna demolish our monorail because I don't think it's really servicing my people very well. And it's just generating noise pollution. If you notice, it makes people happy when I demolish the monorail stations because they do generate quite a bit of noise. We could build a subway. We could build a subway or a metro system. The problem with the metro system is because the land here is kind of it's kind of like an island. There's a lot of islands, and it's very hard for the tunnel to get through from one island to another without creating some really strange looking angled tunnels, which I don't really like. Sorry, just responding to chat there. So if you're just joining us, basically we end up building a large chunk of my city without a road connection. We're using cable cars as our primary means of getting people to these areas of the city, because cable cars are a very effective means to move people from one place to another. As you can see, one cable car connection can service over 400 people. So that's what I've done. I built networks of cable cars across these islands, and I even built a tourist district with no road connection at all, just using cable cars, and that's actually worked out pretty well, much to my surprise. Alright, looks like our forestry is doing really good. Let's go ahead and dezone more areas here and turn my residential areas here into forestry. Let's extend our district. We're just going to eventually turn all this into forestry. So we're gonna scale back on some of our expenditures here. Let's see. For one, I don't think we need Lady Liberty right now. Let's go. She's costing us 3,000 per week. Let's go ahead and just demolish her for right now. And we can afford to do that because we have 7 million in the bank, which is quite a lot actually. And so that's a thing to learn. In order to create a tourist district, you don't actually need any buildings or any landmarks. As long as you have a commercial zone and you mark it as a tourist district, I mean, people will come and you will make some amount of money. I'm gonna scale back our tourist area here because for the amount of money we're spending on it, we're not generating too much income on it, and I can see it's starting to affect our income. I mean, we're still making quite a lot of money. 18,000. I probably should have just turned off those services instead of demolishing them. Oops. Wow, that made people really unhappy when I did that. Let's see if that affects our bottom line in a more positive way. I'd like to have a healthy income of 20,000 per week. Although at this point we practically have infinite money, we don't really need more money, I suppose. We need to move our high school and elementary because they're in the farming district now. So let's move them over here. Uh-oh, are we having trash problems over there? It seems like. Let's see. Let's fix that. We need to build more incinerators, perhaps. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for our forestry there to get populated with people. In the meantime, let's construct some general high-density commercial zones here. I don't know if that's such a good idea. We'll see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, our cemetery here is full as well. Let's go ahead and make sure we have enough crematorium. Do we even have one? We have one over there. And we have one over there. We have one over there as well. We should probably have one close to this. And then we'll tell the computer to empty the cemetery. There we go. We're getting closer to that milestone. We need 9,000 more people. Oh, we have a fire there. Let's hope our fire department can get there in time. Do we even have a fire department in this part of the city? Oh, we do, but it's really far away, so it's not gonna get there in time. Now it will. We just built one, I hope. Let's see. Come on, fire department. There's a fire over here. Why aren't you servicing it? That's funny. I thought it would. Thanks, fire department. I guess you're just gonna let it burn, huh? Wow, really? You would? That's crazy. The fire department's not doing anything. Oh, Well, that was useless. I built a fire department and he's not helping. Why? Fire engines 0 of 6 used. Why aren't you working? I think that building just collapsed because there's nobody who came to help. Thanks a lot, fire department. Remind me not to fund you. Let's see what other problems we have. Oh, this thing. We don't need this anymore, I don't think. Let's see our electrical problem. Do we have any? Not really. I want to demolish these if we can and build solar power instead. That could be a challenge given our limited space here. I can just build one more over here. There we go. Increase our electrical production capacity. And then maybe we can demolish these. Perfect. Those things produce so much pollution, we need to get rid of them anyway. There's still such a high demand for industry. Let's look at our traffic flow, see how we're doing. 87%, that's not too bad. We have quite a bit of a traffic in this area. Oh, it's because I built this high density commercial zone, so people probably want to go there and shop. Oops, I didn't think about that. That will cause some traffic. I mean, at least they're moving for the most part. Now, there really is not a mass transit linking the left side of the map to the right side. So I was thinking I might build subways later on, but one bad thing about subways or metro is that they're very expensive. So right now I'm spending 8,666 on mass transits on the right side there under expenses with the bus icon. And I'm recouping about 3,000 per week on it, so I'm spending 5,000 a week on mass transit. The bulk of it is on cable cars. I'm actually making money on the cable cars. 2,000. Wow. That's pretty cool. I should run an experiment and run a cable car across and use that as mass transit. I should run that just as an experiment. That would be kind of funny. Let's do that actually. So let's see. Let's build one here. It has to face the right way though, which currently it is not. Okay. Build one there. You have to face the right way. I won't be able to build it correctly. So the little arch has to face the road, which it's not. It has to face the direction you want to go. Did I build it correctly here? I did. So let's see if we can build it correctly here as well, which it's too bad you can't rotate the buildings to the direction you want it to face. It's not letting me build it correctly. I think that, oops, that might work. Perfect. Oh no, we can't get across the 4-lane highway. No, that's too bad. Well, it was a good idea for a moment. So you can't get this across that, really? Oh, it's too wide. Oh, yeah, you can. Let's see if we can get a cable car connection going. Why is it so hard to face this the other way? Yeah, it won't let me face it the other way. It's crazy. If I build it this way, the connection is not going to connect, is it? Nope. Yeah, it's so weird. Population-wise, we're doing okay. We have 47,000 people. Come on. It won't let me rotate it. It's so strange. Oh well, so much for that idea. We tried. Oh crap, didn't mean to do that. Pause. Did not mean to do that. Let's observe our traffic again, 87%. Traffic here increased because we built a high density commercial zone. I guess that was not a very smart thing to do. So let's go ahead and demolish that. We don't actually want high density of anything because it's going to create more traffic, and we don't really want that right now. Let's de-zone some of these and build offices instead. And the reason for that is as our population ages, yep, about half of our population are adults and seniors. We're gonna want offices for them. There we go. Well, look at that. Maybe there was such a high demand for offices and we just didn't know about it. Wow, look at that build. Okay, well now we know. That's interesting. So we're going to convert some of our normal commercial district into offices instead. So as our city grows, we're going to run into more and more problems. That's just the way it works in real life and in city skylines. Oh, we have fire. No fire department. What happened to the fire department? Oh, it's funny, the fire department never came. My fire department is kind of lazy. Let's D-zone that. Let's check out our traffic flow. Doing pretty good. It's not too bad. So basically, by converting these into office spaces and having a cable car connection, it's providing work for some of the people that live here. What I should do is provide a blimp connection. That would be fun. So I don't know if our tourist area was really a success. I don't know. It's has a lot of problems. I might just completely rezone that area and turn that into like a tourist district, not tourist, into just like an office district. We'll see. We'll keep that going for right now. Oh, power. Let's pause the game. Looks like we need more power. Can I build one more here? Nope. Trying to see where's a good spot to put a power plant. I guess I could put one. It's not ideal. I could put one here. I should just put one here somehow. Oh no, I messed up the our bus, there we go. Our bus route for a moment there. There we go. Okay, looks like it fixed it. Self-fixing bus lines, good. Let's see if we're making any money on our forestry. Our population is declining. Forestry, we're making 5 or 4.3 thousand a week. That's pretty good. I'm inclined to conclude that our tourist district might be a bust. I have to like de-zone it. So let's go ahead and de-zone that. Let's rethink our strategy here. Go ahead and de-zone these things for right now. Again, we're just going to rethink our strategy as far as what we want to do. I might just turn all of this into just an office district. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. So let's see if this area will develop on its own as an office district. Alright, so let's watch that develop hopefully into an office district. Could build some commercial, actually we could build some homes here as well. I suppose we could. Beautiful. Oh no, our population's declining. We need to build more residentials. I think we're doing okay. We just have to deal with the little issues that we have. I'm beginning to suspect that the fire department is a slacker in my city. Do I just need to fund them more? I have a fire department here and there, but I guess I should build one here. Oh cool, we emptied the cemetery. Sweet. Let's go ahead and zone that. High residential, let's do that. The buildings are complaining of low land value. That's not good. Okay, looks like we're okay now. There's an extremely high demand for commercial zones. Converting these residential zones into office spaces so that the residents are not being bothered by pollution and noise because of the garbage incinerator here. What are these? Oh, office buildings. What other things can we build? I think we're doing okay for right now. So we need to grow our population. We can only do that if we satisfy the computer's demand for more commercial zones, that is. Otherwise our unemployment is gonna rise, and yep, it's at 11%, so it is rising. I'm hoping by building office spaces that would help curb our unemployment, but we'll see. Oh no, people are leaving our city. Didn't satisfy their demand for commercial zones. So here, we'll zone for commercial zones here. We are gonna need some power. So let's check out our traffic. Traffic, we're doing okay, 89%. Let's go build some water pipes to connect to our high-density commercial area here. Now, if you just joined us, we're extending this part of the city onto this island here without actually using a highway connection. So even though a highway is passing by through my city here, I'm actually not connected to it. And so I'm able to achieve this population by using cable cars as my mode of mass transit. If you notice, this one cable car stop is servicing 370 people. If we look at another one here, it's servicing 108 people. And if we look at my higher capacity city here that's been built, this area here is high density residentials and offices, and it's completely built on the back of cable cars. And as you can see, one cable car stop can support over 500 people. So if you've never thought of using cable cars as a means of mass transit, then you're missing out, because you can see one cable car stop can service over 500 people. So basically I built this section of my city effectively banning cars. I mean, there are still cars on the road, but very, very little. The bulk of my population are walking and biking. So if you look at my roads, and these are high residential buildings as well as office spaces, there are very, very few cars on the road. Basically everybody's just walking and biking. So basically I was trying to build a green city. See, if you look at all the people, they're just mainly walking. The street is pretty clear. So again, if you've never thought of using cable cars as a means of mass transit, then you're definitely missing out, because you can keep extending your population and not generate too much traffic. As you can see, I have about 45,600 people in my city right now, and my traffic flow is still at 87%. So I would say that's pretty good for a city of this size. Look at this residential area here. All high densities. Virtually no traffic. And the same is true as if as we travel through here. Virtually no traffic. Everyone is just on their bike or walking. Look at this big chunk here. Same thing. Virtually no traffic. And it's not even connected to a highway. So that's kind of my great experiment that I started yesterday, is to see if we can build a successful city with using primarily just, you know, walking and biking and cable cars as the means of transportation. So I'm building a small commercial district here because the computer keeps demanding that I build more commercial district. I tend to want to build office districts or office spaces because as your population age, and you can see that in the population dialog box here, you can see that about 50% of my population are either adults or seniors, and as your population age, they want to work in an office environment, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and de-zone more housing over here and turn these into office spaces. Oopsie. Wrong one, sorry, I de-zoned it. But I filled it back up as high density residential. Let's look at our unemployment rate. 5%, that's actually pretty good. For a city of this size to only have 5% unemployment, that's pretty good. So in order to grow our city, we need to keep building more residential. So let's go ahead and get started on that. And this is why I don't build too many commercial zones too much, is because they start complaining about not enough goods. Earlier in the game, I had cargo ships and harbors on the side here, but I demolished it, thinking that I wasn't making enough money for the cost that it was costing me to maintain them. Yeah, so this is why I don't like to build high-density commercial zones, because you can never seem to satisfy their demand for goods. I'm gonna go de-zone these and turn them into offices again. Or not again, but into offices instead. So let's go ahead and build more. This is kind of neat. I wonder if I should keep it. I probably should. Let's build more residential zones. This is actually a pretty big piece of land. I think I'm gonna keep that little artifact looking thingy, whatever that is. We might have built too much office zone. Let's go ahead and de-zone these for right now. and turn them into high-density residentials instead. Oops, bad idea. You don't want them too close to the highway, or they're gonna complain and or get sick. But we can turn that spot into office zones instead. So again, we're building roads that have bike lanes on them. Our citizens primarily get around by biking or walking or by taking a cable car. And that's by design. We want a green city that has less traffic, less pollution, and all that good stuff. So let's see if we can develop this part of the map. I've noticed that my fire department is a slacker. Oh, not these guys. They actually put out the fire. Oh, cool. We emptied the cemetery. Good, good. And if you don't know how to empty a cemetery, you basically click on this box-looking icon there. And once it's emptied, you can demolish it. Be sure to have before you demolish it, be sure to have crematorium. I guess I'll turn these back into low density in the commercial zones, because that was working pretty good. Oh, look, we emptied another cemetery. Let's pick that cemetery and demolish it. Perfect. Oh, that made a lot of people unhappy. Sorry, guys. I hate looking at cemeteries that are full because they have that flashing icon. Let's go ahead and build some parks here. And some services like a fire department. Yep, we need some of that. Police department, yes. Clinic, yes. Crematorium, yes. Okay, so we are back here. Looks like our commercial zone could use more people. We'll just give that some time. So it looks like sometimes when the computer demands for a commercial zone, what they really want is a low-density commercial zone. So you don't always have to build high-density commercial zones. I mean, this part of the city is doing extremely well. Not a single flashing icon. Let's check out our utilities. Electricity wise, we're doing just okay. Water wise, oh, our sewage treatment, we need to improve on that. And we do need some power there. Perfect. We should move. Yes, we should move these. Relocate them over here. I guess we should buy this piece of land here. Perfect. As far as water direction goes, where does it go? Just trying to relocate our sewage plant here. Water treatment plant, rather. Trying to keep this area pollution free if possible. Okay, I think we're gonna need one more. Perfect. Ah, that's terrible. We're polluting the city. The ocean, rather. Okay, we're getting some demand for residential, so hopefully this will build up in a tiny bit. Alright, let's see if we have enough capacity to reach 55,000 people. I don't really think we do, actually. Alright, so let's see what else can we do here. Oh, not enough people there to service the forestry. Or the commercial zone, for that matter. Becoming a challenge to reach that 55,000 milestone. Let's see, what do we have? Yep. Oh, garbage. Forgot about that. We're gonna need some garbage collection. There's a huge demand for people there. I wonder if I create a cable car across, whether that would help. Somebody's getting sick from what? Hey, how's it going, guys? So in this city that we're building here, we're basically using cable cars primarily as our mass transit. As you can see, one cable car stop can service up to 500 something passengers, which is what's allowing this city to exist without much vehicles. As you can see, the road is mostly empty. People are just mainly walking or biking to and from work. This little island here is nothing but high-density residentials and office buildings. As you can see, we have some really nice office buildings. Very cool. I like that. Check out this one. This one is crazy. Well, I think it might have been this one. Well, it's still a nice-looking building. Again, all of that is made possible by cable cars. Look at that one. One stop is 506 people. That's crazy. So we attempted to replicate that same thing onto this island here, and it worked out really well. It's the same thing. This island has no connection to the highway. It really doesn't. So it's basically in its own little world. Its people are coming and goings are only through cable cars. So let's examine this cable car connection here. Yep, servicing 500 people. Same thing for the cable car connection. Is that the only one? Oh, actually nope. There's another one right here. 404 people. So if you've never used cable cars before as a means of mass transit, you definitely should start. So the same thing I did to populate this half of the land, because it's being divided by the freeway, a highway here. I just use cable cars to get people to move from one place to another. See, look at that, 352 people in just that one stop. So I'm trying to develop a green city where people are mostly just walking and biking for as much as possible. See, very little vehicles. There are still going to be some vehicles. One, I think rich people have smuggled it in my island. And two, service vehicles like garbage collection, fire department, police department. They all will make use of the road. See, there's the a police car right there. So anyway, if you've never tried it, it's definitely very possible to build a city, or at least a portion of your city, where you can ban vehicles and just like force people to walk or use a bike. I'm reserving this middle part here because I'm thinking I might build the monuments there later on once I've hit 90,000 population, but we're not quite there yet. Go, fire department, go. Good job. Wow, it's a lot of fire trucks. Let's look at our unemployment rate. Might be high. Oh, only 3% actually. So I'm thinking we should build more offices, because as your population grows, that's what they need more than anything. I'm thinking I should de-zone these and create offices instead. do over this part. Let's see if there's any demand for offices. I don't know if there are. So it's interesting how the mechanics of the game works, because this part of my city, there's no commercial district at all other than offices. And it seems to be working out just fine. So our city of 45,800 people, for the most part, it's doing pretty good. Not too many problems in the city. How can we increase the land value? Oh, fire, not good. Not sure. Let's check out our crematorium. How many do we have in the city? I would have one too many. Let's get rid of this one. How about fire departments? How many do we have in the city? Quite a bit. Don't know if we need really that many. I guess we can get rid of that district now. We're not doing forestry anymore. Let's look at our income. Looks like the bulk of our income is coming from residential, 46,000 per week. Industry, 3,500. Office space is 16,000. That's pretty good. Looks like our biggest moneymaker though is high density residentials. Oh, power. Running out of power. Nuclear power. Ooh, that's so expensive. Fire. No. Go, fire department. Save my incinerating plant. My garbage incinerator. Oh, good job. Firefighters actually did their job. Good job. Those cable cars at work. I don't know, so can we make it to 55,000 population with this city setup right now? Can let it run for a little while and see what happens. Not enough educated workers, really? Oh no. Our education system does leave much to be desired. Right. Okay, that should prepare that for expansion. I think we can build some offices back here. Maybe. Possibly. Let's see if we can. Doesn't look very straight. Oops. Again, we're building roads that have bike lanes on them. I think that's a good spot for office spaces. Let's build more residential zones. Wow. Alright, so with a population of 51,000, our city for the most part is doing pretty good. Not too many things wrong with it. We're more than halfway through the milestone of the 90,000 population, which is what we want to get, so we can unlock some of the monuments. Looks like there's still a great demand for commercial though, so our RCI graph is not quite balanced. That's unfortunate because we don't like seeing it that way. Let's go ahead and just build office spaces here. Let's see if that would be a better use of this space. And it would seem that is indeed the case. Looks like our city is developing quite nicely. Not too many problems. I'm hoping to reach 55,000 population if possible before we end the broadcast. That would be a good milestone to achieve because that would unlock the airport. office buildings are building up quite nicely. Oh, I hate to see the pollution there. It's terrible. Come on, police, deal with that crime. Let's check out our education, see how we're doing. Looks like we need more high schools. Very nice. Our city's developing quite nicely, and if we're lucky, we might actually hit 55,000 before we have to end this broadcast. I'm hoping to end it in the next 20 minutes. Notice how I only have 3 crematoriums servicing this large chunk of the map. And the reason that works is because my traffic is not too bad. It's actually 90%. 89%, but yeah, it's pretty good for what it is. Let's see if the crematorium will handle this. I see the hearse coming. Man in black, getting dead people. Oh my god, in the coffin. pretty crazy. I see there's a fire over there. Let's see if our fire department will handle it. Oh wow, look at how many fire trucks there are. Yep, they handle it just fine. And we have noise pollution here. Are people getting sick? Let's see what's going on here. Citizens are getting sick. Why? What's going on? Let's de-zone that building. Turn that into office space. So that's kind of what I tend to do when I see that citizens are getting sick. It could be because they're in an intersection or whatever buildings they're close to. They're just not happy, so just de-zone it and turn it into an office space. That's what I do. Look at our city. It's turning out to be pretty good. We've got 53,000 people, and there's hardly anything wrong with the city. That's like freakishly amazing. Got high-rise buildings. We did try to build a tourist district earlier. That was a failed attempt. We ended up just demolishing and de-zoning it and converting it into an office park here. So these are mostly offices with a tiny bit of residential. Oh wow, look at these office buildings. That's crazy. And then back here we extended and built more offices and residential buildings. We're just trying to hit the 55,000 milestone. I don't know if we will. Our population is starting to taper off. We need to build more residential if we have the room. We do. Let's make sure there's water there. Ooh, there is, but it's not properly set up. Oop, another person getting sick over there. Why is that? We don't like people getting sick in my city. Turn that into an office building. Why are they getting sick? Oh, because they're right next to that. I didn't think about that. Sorry. Pollution. So first of all, let's demolish that building. And turn that. And de-zone that. And turn that into an office space. Yep, because we have an incinerator right there, so that's why people are getting sick sometimes. Slowly this is getting built. There's not really a big demand for people because we don't have enough industry. You know, it's funny, we don't really have any outside connection to the world other than by boat, it seems. We can build an industry here. Then how will we get people across? Cable car. We can try that. Let's de-zone this and build some forestry here. Let's de-zone a couple of these residential areas and maybe turn them into commercial zones. Should we do that? Tempted to, but we're only 1,000 away from hitting our 55,000 population milestone, so maybe we shouldn't mess around with that right now. Well, one thing we could do is... I wonder if we could just zone more offices there. I'm thinking about it, but... Nope, let's not. We can also move our solar plant from there to here. And then better optimize this land for farming. There you go, that's better. Suppose we can keep expanding the city and build some commercial zones up here. It's possible. It's an option. Oh, that's why that's flashing. It's supposed to be an office. Well, we're 500 people short of 55,000, but our population is just not increasing fast enough. We're like, I hope we can make it to 55,000. We're pretty close. This area here is just turning exclusively as an office area. It's pretty crazy. Like, all of these are office zones. Ooh, a black building. Another thing we can do is move this guy over here. Let's make sure there's not going to be any negative impact to that. I do not believe so. Only in this game can you pick up a solar power plant like that and just poof, relocate it. There you go. So now we can use this space more productively for something. Like more offices. There we go, 55,000 people. Whoa, we've unlocked airport now. We can build airports now. Another highly polluting structure. Oh crap. Accidentally destroyed the highway there. Not what we wanted. Oh, our cable car is the one that burned. We don't want that. Oh no, it's gonna be so hard to put that back. Well, I don't really know if we really need it, honestly. Let's leave it off for right now. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking we don't even really need that cable car connection. We can survive with one cable car connection. Because it's gonna be pretty hard to put it back, I think. Maybe. Or maybe not. Perfect. Wow, that's a cool building. I like that. Superb strategy game. It's an office building. Alright, so looks like we have 55,000 people in our city. We actually have very few problems, believe it or not, which is very surprising. I like that though. Need to extend the power line. From here to there so we can power our water sewage treatment plants there. We have a pretty healthy income of 15,000 per week and 9.4 million in the bank. That's actually really good, considering we only have 55,000 people. So this is our city. We're doing extremely well for a city of this size. Hopefully the garbage man can find his way to that building. We do have 2 incinerator plants, so that should be quite a bit. I don't know if we really need that many for a city this small. But better safe than sorry. I'm surprised it's taking the garbage man a long time to get there. Awesome, so let's see what we're gonna do tomorrow. I mean, we can keep building the city to get more people so we can get 90,000, but what else can we do? We're gonna end the broadcast here. This is a good stopping point, I think. We have some really high-rise, really tall high-rise buildings here. And these are office spaces. I like the color of that building. It's kind of unique. Our population is 55,000. Our traffic is pretty good. We have a 90% traffic flow for a 55,000 city. That's population city. That's really good. Awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game now, and we'll continue again tomorrow. Anyway, this is Sin. I hope you've enjoyed building the city with me, where we use primarily cable cars as a means of mass transit, and also instituting that we're basically banning cars from our city here and forcing people to just walk and use bicycles. Anyway, this is Sin. I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast of my gameplay today.